kids. My name is Pastor Marcy, and we're starting a new series this month called Stand, Don't Face Your Fears Alone. Do you guys know what courage is? Courage is being brave enough to do what you should, even when you're afraid. Our Bible story comes from Numbers 13 through 14 with two guys named Joshua and Caleb. After traveling through the desert away from Egypt, they demonstrated courage when they were sent out as spies in the Promised Land with 10 of their fellow Israelites. The land of Canaan was awesome, but it also wouldn't be too easy to enter when everyone else was scared to enter this land that God had promised. Joshua and Caleb found the courage to speak up and remind the people that God would provide a way for them to take the land. They were brave even when others weren't, and God rewarded them for that. So remember, brave kids, you can do what you should even when others are afraid. Our worship song this month is called Brave. Hey, I love that name. Can I teach you the dance moves to the chorus of the song? Are you ready? Okay, so point your hands up like this and go like that multiple times. So it says, you are the reason that I am brave. Okay, so let's sing and dance together.
When I wake up, I know that you are with me every step of the way. You're strong enough to handle any fear that I face. Even things that scare me, 'cause they seem too big. Even all the hard things that make me wanna quit. You're bigger than it all, and you're in charge of it. And I don't feel so worried when I look to you. When I look at how great you are, your kindness helps me believe that you are good, and with you I can do anything. Even things that scare me, 'cause they seem too big. Even all the hard things that make me wanna quit. You're bigger than it all, and you're in charge of it. And I don't feel so worried when I look to you, Jesus.
Welcome to Story Lab. This week we're talking about courage, while we take a look at the story of some spies who had a split decision on their mission report. Oh, and look out for this. Hey, I'm Amaya.
And I'm Zeke.
And we're talking about courage, which is being brave enough to do what you should, even when you're afraid.
So, let me get this straight. Fear is where courage starts?
Yep.
I could be a courage champion.
What are you afraid of?
Okay, super weird, but there's this bedpost in my aunt's guest room I'm kind of scared of walking past.
Okay, I mean, people are afraid of all kinds of things. I looked up some of the top fears.
Like what?
Number 5, fear of getting laughed at.
Ooh.
Number 4, fear of thunder and lightning. Number 3, fear of big dogs. Number 2, fear of heights. And number 1, fear of snakes and spiders.
Now my heart's pounding.
I know, right? When fear shows up, it can actually take over your body.
Fear really does go straight for the control system.
When you face a fear, your brain alerts your nervous system, which triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This causes your blood pressure, heart rate, and breathing to increase. More blood flows to your limbs so you can throw a punch or run for your life. And some parts of your brain are so busy amping up your body that the thinking part of your brain can shut down.
Wow. No wonder we make such terrible decisions when we're afraid.
Yep, but there are things that we can do to face our fear. Like we can breathe deeply and slowly. And we can also ask questions about our fears.
Like, what do I really think that bedpost is gonna do to me?
Exactly.
Oh, great job holding up the bed.
You can even plan baby steps to face your fear, a little bit at a time.
Hey, what are you afraid of?
Crickets.
What?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
A cricket?
Oh, this is great. You can face your fear right here.
Yeah.
Okay, just gonna lift the box up really slowly. And then I'm just gonna open it really slowly.
Maybe after the story.
Well, okay, it's time for...
The story before the story.
Today, we're in the 4th book of the Old Testament, Numbers.
God promised to bless the whole world through Abraham's family, the Israelites, and give them a home in the land of Canaan. God delivered them from slavery in Egypt, leading them through the Red Sea.
In the desert, God showed deep love by giving the Israelites food and water. God also gave them rules to show them how to love God and love others.
At last, God led the people to the very edge of Canaan, the Promised Land.
And that's where our story starts.
Let's go!
Hey everyone!
Hi, Brian.
Okay, so about 2 years after crossing the Red Sea, the Israelites had finally made it to the very edge of Canaan, the land that God promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God told their leader Moses,
"Send some men to check out the land of Canaan. I am giving it to the Israelites. Send one leader from each of Israel's tribes."
So Moses called a leader from each of the 12 tribes.
Shammua, Shaphat, Caleb, Igal, Joshua, Palti, Gadiel, Gadi, Amiel, Sethur, Nabi, and Guel.
So once the gang was all together, Moses laid out a super secret spy mission for these guys.
I want you to see what Canaan is like. Are there a lot of people or just a few? Are they strong or weak? Do their towns have high walls? Oh, and study the land. Is the soil rich or poor? Are there trees? Bring back some of the food that grows there if you can.
So just like that, these 12 men snuck into Canaan just as God had instructed. Now, for about 6 weeks, they traveled the length of the country and saw the places where Abraham and his family had lived hundreds of years before. On their return journey, the spies cut a bunch of grapes so ginormous, it had to be carried on a pole between 2 men. You can bet that when they showed up in the Israelite camp at the end of 40 days, it made a pretty big stir. At first, the spies gave a glowing report.
Canaan is super awesome.
The land is filled with so many good things. It's practically flowing with milk and honey.
Yeah, check out these grapes.
But we can never go there.
The people who live there are powerful.
Their cities have high walls.
The people are like giants.
Even though the spies had seen many good things, they were stuck on their fears. Only Joshua and Caleb were brave enough to speak up.
We should go up and take the land. We can certainly do it.
No way. They're stronger than we are.
They're so ginormous that we look like crickets to them.
The Israelites chose to listen to fear. They went into complete panic mode, convinced they would be destroyed. They even begged to go back to Egypt. Joshua and Caleb tried to speak to them.
The land is very good. If the Lord is pleased with us, He'll lead us there. He will give it to us. But we've got to obey Him.
Yeah, don't be afraid of the people in the land. The Lord is with us.
Instead of listening to Joshua and Caleb, the Israelites talked about killing them. But in the midst of all this chaos, the glory of God appeared at the tent of meeting. God spoke to Moses.
How long will they refuse to believe in me?
Moses begged God to have mercy on the Israelites.
Lord, your love is great. Forgive the sin of these people, just as you've done so many times already. I have forgiven them, just as you asked. But not one of these people will see the land I promised to give them. But my servant Caleb has a different spirit. He follows me with his whole heart, so I will bring him into the land.
Joshua was also allowed to enter the land. God did forgive the Israelites for turning away again, but there were big consequences. Instead of forging ahead into Canaan, the Israelites ended up wandering and stuck in the wilderness for almost 40 years. Now, by that time, only Joshua and Caleb were still living to lead the new generation, their children, into Canaan. And fast forward, they did. At the end of 40 years, Joshua led the Israelites into the promised land. And right away, they came up to the walled city of Jericho. But with God's help, they faced their fears, and those impossibly strong walls came tumbling down. But that's another story for another day.
Wow. I mean, so the spies' fears were real. I mean, their enemies were really strong.
Yep, but Joshua and Caleb knew that God had already promised to help them.
Yeah, they had to make a choice to do the right thing, even when everyone else was giving into fear.
So, what's our part in the story?
Well, fear is totally normal, but God can still help you be brave and do the right thing.
Yeah, maybe you're in a group where a popular girl is saying mean things about another kid. Your friends might be afraid to speak up because they don't want to get laughed at, but you can be brave and you can speak up because that's not right.
Or maybe the fire alarm goes off and one of your friends is really panicked. That happened in my school.
Yeah, you can be the one to stop and help them calm down.
Right. You never have to face fear alone. When you believe in Jesus and follow Him, God's Spirit lives in you and can give you the courage to do the right thing.
Even if you are afraid.
And that's something awesome to hold on to.
Oh, for sure. See you next time.
So here's the thing. You can do what you should even when others are afraid.
Want to face that fear right now?
Sure. I mean, what's one giant evil cricket gonna do to me?
Baby steps.
Okay.
Just gonna pick it up real slowly.
Okay, remember your breathing.
Release the cricket. Thanks for joining us in the Story Lab. See you next time.
What does fear feel like to you? Maybe it's butterflies fluttering in your stomach, or it might seem like cold fingers creeping up your spine. Fear can feel like a lump in your throat that makes it hard to swallow. Or it might chase thoughts round and round inside your head, refusing to stop. Enough! When you face something hard, fear can show up in 100 different ways. It can threaten to stop you in your tracks. But you don't have to let fear be the boss of you. When fear shouts, "You can't do it," stop. Take a deep breath. Listen for that still, quiet voice of God. God says, "Be strong and brave. Do not be afraid. Do not lose hope. I am the Lord your God. I will be with you everywhere you go." When you know that God is with you, you can keep going. You can walk straight through those fears. And when others see you choose to be brave, even when you're afraid, they can see God at work in your life. That's why courage is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud, it's all about living loud.
Hello? Are you serious? I'll be right there!
And now, let's make sure we get some happy, content little mountains. That's the phone. Hello? Yes, I'll be there in a jiffy.
Pickles! Oh.
Greg Lowe? Yeah, I'll be right there.
Yeah. Oh. All right. I'll be there. Off I go. Hey. Hey. Do. All right, so what are we doing here? Gentlemen, thank you for attending this meeting of the John Vengers Initiative. We have something very important to discuss. Where are we going to go to lunch? Oh, that's not the foods? That's menus? Greg!
Yeah.
Very important.
I love salmonella.
What do you want, Smiley?
Hello everyone, I'm John.
And I'm Steven.
And you're watching the show.
Bee! There's a bee.
What? What? Where?
There's a bee.
No! Where are you going? No, guys, get back here. Get back. No, everyone run. Steven, get back here. Okay. So, obviously we have a bee.
We gotta go
in the studio. Wait, will you just please calm down? Yeah. Calm down, Steven. Okay. Hey everyone. Sorry about that. Oh. The whole crew just left, so we're alone, but we've got a show to do. So where were we?
Intros.
Okay, that's right. This is the So-and-So Show, and today, well, appropriately, we're talking about courage.
Wait! Do you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
It's buzzing. I'm sure it's just... Ah! Please don't sting me! I'm too fragile to deal with physical pain! I can't do it, John. I can't do the show, okay? We gotta go!
We have to keep going forward, Steven, okay? Listen, bees are a very important part of the ecosystem. There are a lot of bees out there, Steven, that won't sting you at all. I assure you, Steven, the bee is more afraid of you than you are of it.
What happened?
Oh no,
did it get you?
It was gonna, I got a face on it.
But did it?
No.
Okay. Why can't we just go home? This is ridiculous. There's an insect out there with a knife for a butt that's coming for us.
Okay, you know what? I get it. I'm freaked out too, all right? But there are people watching who want to learn about God and courage, and we have a responsibility to see this through. You know, we're like the Postal Service. Neither rain nor snow nor bees will keep us from delivering our jokes and japes.
Fine. Okay, I see that. It is important. I understand. Let's just get this over with so we can get out of here with our skin unpunctured.
All right. Oh, you know what? I think we should call in some backup.
Oh, what'd you have in mind?
It's Bible story time with Kellen.
Hey!
Hey, Kellen!
Quiet! It'll hear us.
Oh, right.
What's going on?
Hey, Kellen, there's a bee in the studio.
That's terrifying. But you know, bees are actually
an important part of our ecosystem. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we know, but we still don't want to get stung.
Well, maybe I can take your mind off the tension with a story from the Bible.
That's what we were counting on.
Today's story is from the book of Numbers, and we'll be talking about a couple of guys named Joshua and Caleb.
Oh, Josh and Caleb? Wait, hold on.
What are you doing?
Well, I've been shooting a short film about Joshua and Caleb, and I just cut together a trailer. You guys want to see it?
When have I ever said no to you?
And would it even stop you?
Never and no. Okay, hey, let's go.
When you've been promised a land.
I, Moses, have been told by the Lord to send one leader of each of Israel's tribes into the land of Canaan.
You have to keep your promises.
Gentlemen, we need a recon on the land the Lord has given us. What kind of land is it? What kind of people live there? Are they strong? Are they weak? What types of cities do they live in? You'll need to take 40 days to scout the land and then report back. Do you think you can handle it?
2 men knew they could handle it. Caleb and Joshua.
We can handle it. Hold on. Just want to clarify some things.
What's wrong? I felt like I was pretty spot on so far.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's not bad, but Moses sent 12 men into Canaan to scout ahead. Where are all the other actors?
Oh, I shot this on a shoestring budget, Kellen. I did the thing I always do when I can't afford another actor.
Put the same actor
in a bad wig. Put the same actor in a bad wig. Yeah, exactly.
Even when things look too good to be believed.
Look at the size of those grapes. It'll take both of us to lift one bunch.
A little fear can still turn things wrong.
The 40 days is up, and I'm so glad that everyone has returned. From everything I've heard, it sure sounds like Canaan is a truly glorious place for us to settle. I am thankful that God has promised it to us.
No, we can't go back there. We saw huge cities with giant walls. Everyone that lives there is too powerful for us.
The Lord is just sending us into this land to be killed? Oh, we should have just died in Egypt.
How am I doing so far, Kellen?
Pretty good. Even though the scouting party saw all the good things that Canaan could provide for them, and even though God had promised to give it to them, they were too scared to really go for it.
Most of them were too scared.
But when things are darkest, you have to stand up for what you believe in.
We should go up and take the land. If the Lord is pleased with us, he'll lead us there. But we've got to obey him. Don't be afraid of the people in the land. The Lord is with us. Yes.
Their countrymen's fear, though, was too strong.
Get him! Yeah, throw rocks at him!
Things were turning bad, and then God showed up.
It's true. God was furious at the Israelites. They weren't trusting God's plan. So Moses had to beg the Lord to forgive them. God did forgive, but there were still consequences. The people would have to wander in the desert for 40 years. And the only people who went on the scouting mission who would get to enter the land were Caleb and Joshua. They trusted the Lord, and they had the courage to do what was right.
Caleb, Joshua, in 40 days. Already showing in a Bible near you.
That's it. Not bad, right?
I don't know. I don't really care for trailers that feel like they show the entire movie.
Caleb and Joshua saw the same thing all the other people on the scouting trip saw. So why did they want to go into Canaan while the others were afraid? Simple. They trusted God. Caleb and Joshua might have been afraid too, but they knew God was with them. When you're faced with a problem you're afraid of, you can trust that God is with you too. I'll see you guys next time.
Oh, hey, thanks, Kellen.
Do you think we're safe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so. I feel pretty sure we're clear of Okay, Stephen.
What?
Don't freak out.
The bee is on me.
Don't freak out.
I'm gonna freak out.
But if you do, the bee's gonna. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on, I got an idea. Try to distract it.
I am.
Okay, guess what? That's perfect. Keep screaming and running around. Whoa. Buzz. Oh, Buzz. Come here.
What happened?
No. Look.
Am I dead?
No.
Okay.
Come here. No, it's okay. Some bees like a little white sugar dissolved in water. Our little pal here, he was just hungry. See? He's just having a little sip.
Wow, look at that. You're a regular Dr. Doolittle.
Well, I can't talk to the animals, but you know what I can do?
What?
Reveal the question! Today's question of the day is, what are people afraid of?
Bees. Mm-hmm. Even though they're a very important part of the ecosystem.
Very good. You know what I'm afraid of? People driving too fast.
Whew. It could be something really serious, like someone you love getting sick, or it could be something that even you know is a little bit silly, like imagining an alligator lives under your bed.
Well, great. I wasn't afraid of that until now.
Well, whatever it is, God will always be with you, so you can do what you should even when the people around you are afraid.
Yeah, and as it turns out though, sometimes the things you're afraid of end up not being that scary at all.
Yeah, you're right, like this bee.
That's right.
Until next time, I'm Steven.
And I'm John.
And this was the So-and-so Show.
And that's our little bee friend.
I'm surprised we aren't scaring him with our loud voice.
I know he's probably used to people. You know how I had a squirrel eat out of my hand once.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
What was he eating?
Oh, my hand.
Oh.
Marco. Marco? Marco. You're close, Marco. Marco. You're good, B. You're good. Marco. Oh, I got him! Ow!
Oh, man.
Everything keeps telling me to quit and not go where I'm going. But I'm never ever gonna stop, and there's no signs of slowing. Ooh, not moving backwards. give me the power to never give up. You give me your power and it's more than enough. I made my decision, quitting's not an option. No matter how hard it gets, I know I'm in, 'cause you give me the power. Yeah, God gives me the power. You give me the power.
I loved our lesson today. Kids, don't forget, you can help others be brave too. Have a good week and we'll see you next time.